I'm hellorodney. Thanks for clicking on my video. Maybe that's how I'll open all my videos from now on. How about my glasses? Oh, I'm hellorodney. Thanks for clicking on my video. Yeah. Ow. Damn it. I was looking for this quote. I think it was Matisse. I couldn't find it, so maybe it wasn't him, but it was. I think it might have been Matisse, and I didn't look very far. But here's a quote by Matisse, and this is not the quote I was looking for, but it's very similar. What I dream of is an art of balance, of purity and serenity, devoid of troubling or depressing subject matter, a soothing, calming influence on the mind, rather like a good armchair which provides relaxation from physical fatigue. A friend of mine told me once, he says, when are you going to realize that people don't want your psychosis on their wall? Show you something. I'll show you something that's interesting. To me, it's interesting. See that thing right there, that face? You can see a face wearing a little hat. And you start to get up close to it, you know. It starts to get a little bit more weirdish. But from back here, it actually looks more like a face action. I can't see it without my glasses, but I'm looking at the thing actually, and so it starts to turn more into like a face, and that's kind of an interesting thing for me. I like that, how that works. It was a very famous Salvador Dali. Salvador Dali did a painting of let's see, look that up. He did a painting of Lincoln. Now that painting, if you look at it from, you start looking at it from back here, it's let's see if we can get a little bit better view of it. Yeah, that's not it. There it is, right there. He did that painting a long time ago, and those are the kind of paintings that they're very impressionistic, except they're more. It looks almost like a digital image, but he did it, just with squares, breaking images down into those elements, so that whenever you back up on something, you can see it. It actually starts to become that thing, Instead of what I did was I was just playing around and just getting some paper and tearing it up, and it turned into a little thing like that, like a face. And it was looking at it up close. It was kind of dumb, And then I looked, and then I came out of the studio and I went back inside there, and I could see it. And I said, "Oh, that looks pretty good," because it has that effect that you don't have to make something really realistic in order for it to give a realistic appearance. You can make it very, very abstract, and from a distance it will look very, very realistic. But I like the quote by Matisse, where basically what he wanted to do was to the quote that I was looking for, and it may not have been Matisse, but I think it was, where he had made a quote that he wanted. Yeah, I think that might have been the quote, where he wanted to make something that would basically give people relaxation. And I think he was dogged for that. I think that was not very good PR for him, because art, a lot of times it has to go much deeper. It has to have a deeper meaning. Like this meaning. It just has to go deeper. It has to be a much deeper meaning than the actual, You know what I mean? It has to be deeper. A deeper meaning. There's a skull right there. Now this right here. This piece, man, I love it. Well, I don't really love it actually, but it's got this diamond ring, and this beautiful, unrealistic, Indian, and his beautiful Indian bride or whatever. It's all fantasy with Santa Claus, and this shape right here of the two of them together, that has some sort of symbolic nature. I don't know exactly what it is, but I don't even know what I'm talking about. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what I'm talking about. So I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing, but I used to make how I made money in Los Angeles is I made these kind of paintings. I did still lifes. I did still life paintings. And these still life paintings, I would just approach the canvas and start painting. I mean, I don't sketch anything out, zero. And the interesting thing about a painting like that is I would just start doing something and it would, get covered up and changed and everything else. And the way that those paintings work, and it used to really be surprising to me, because I'd be working on the thing for like maybe 3 days or something. It would always get to a point where I said, man, this thing, I'm not going to be able to pull this one off. And then just a little bit later, it starts to pull together, and then it's like, bam, it's gonna happen. And it was fun to do those kind of things. For those of you who are concerned about my finger, I'm okay. How many of you have a mattress? Look at that, man! Look at the beauty of that. Just look at the beauty of that design. Man, that's beautiful. That's what you call repetitious design, for sure. Man, that's beautiful. I love it. I love to eat the popcorn. Love to eat the popcorn. Love to eat some popcorn too. This right here is the base of that. The base of the box springs. This thing right here. Okay, so that I think the distance is 4 feet. I think it's 4 feet. It's 4 feet to right about here. So what I need to do on this is cut it right here, take that off, move this over, and that's 4 feet, and then get a sheet of plywood 4 feet by, it's like 6'2", and then that right there is a table. Now this table right here, it may possibly become part of this. It could actually fit on top of this and make a bigger table for the studio area, which it might happen to do, because this thing already has wheels and everything, and it's a little shaky, but it's a great table. So that might be what happens with that. I don't know. I just don't know. Oh. You're in a jail of box springs. See, if all the jails were like this, you could never get out. How could you ever get out of that? You would never get out. I'm kind of watching the basketball game now. The way I watch the basketball game sometimes is I just put it on pause and I go back in and check it. Because sometimes those things, I just don't, they get a little stressful for me. I'm very, very delicate individual, very sensitive individual. Let's see. Well, those are 3 things I was working on. That one. And then those 2 things over there. And this thing here is actually, I'm very glad that happened, because this right here is something that is a little bit, As a matter of fact, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it today, and one of the problems with dealing with that kind of thing is the way that I work is sometimes it's very difficult because I start gluing things, and then you get to a point where you're gluing and you go, oh, holy God, I wish I had glued that, and then you have to do something else. So it's just going to be an interesting thing to deal with these collages because it's fun for me. Is there anything else to talk? Oh, I'll talk about this. Friends came over today and brought me this. This is bread, a loaf of bread. I ate almost the whole freaking thing. It's a loaf of bread that's got all these. It's got chia seeds in it. Chia. It's got chia seeds, all kinds of stuff in there, and it's just a beautiful bread. And homemade bread. And she brought it over, and it was still warm. It was beautiful. I says, oh. She says, oh, I'm going to eat the whole thing. I'll eat it all the time. She says, oh, you'll get a bellyache. So, oh, I just can't. I'm going to eat it, So, I ate a bunch of the bread. I called her. I said, oh, I got a bellyache. And she says, I told you. Yeah, I know. Thanks for giving me the bread. Goodbye. Oh, it was good. Oh, the globe. See that globe right there? I have 3 globes. I've got a globe over there. I have a globe up there. And I have this one. And this interesting, that one right there is, I think that globe is from about 1950. Because it's got Israel on there, which came into being in 1948. And then it's got Indochina, which is now North and South Vietnam. And it's got Korea, which is one Korea. So I think North and South Korea, that didn't happen until like the mid-50s or whatever. And Indochina, I don't know when that happened, but it's probably it's after 1948 and before 1950, mid-50s. I'm not sure when Korea became North and South Korea, or Vietnam became North and South Vietnam. But it's really kind of weird that they didn't put a freaking date on that thing. I looked all over that thing. There's no date. And maybe the reason they didn't put the date is because they want people to. Because if they say, oh, this one's like 6 years old, we won't buy this one. We have to get a brand new one, because all the countries changed or something like that. So that's probably why they did it. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else to talk about, especially since there was nothing to talk about in the beginning? I'm just doing this because I'm waiting for the ball game. Oh, love the popcorn. Won't you love the popcorn too? Okay, well, I guess I'm going to. That's where the little squirrels ended up over here by the train. I think it's just bizarre I have so much stuff around here. Look at that. I got tons of stuff. There's a freaking toaster. Oh, these things here. It's really funny. I love finding out stuff about these. I bought these at the flea market for $1 each. I looked at the website. They're $32 each. And this one right here, it gives the instructions down there on the handle. This one is, I can't read without my glasses, damn it. I think you have to do that one twice. You bake that one twice, and you bake this one once, and that makes a gingerbread house. So that's kind of cool. And on the website they have the what do you call it? The recipe for the gingerbread. But I might make it out of dirt and acrylic paint. That way you can have it all year long. And you can eat it because it'll be made out of dirt. See you later.